Welcome back to Second Act, First Date, Over 40 and Awkward.
You know where we're all about finding love the second time around?
This time with a little more
A
mindfulness.
little more mindfulness.
That's right. Today we are diving into the world of mindful dating
Oh, yeah.
and not letting those same old patterns play out.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about dating with intention awareness
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully a lot less of that.
Oh, yeah.
What was I feeling afterwards?
Oh, the cringe.
Okay. I'm intrigued. I think we all know that dating after 40 comes with its
Yeah.
own unique set of, shall we say, experiences.
Unique is a good word.
So how does mindfulness actually change the game?
Well, all of the research that we dug into emphasizes this one key thing. Understanding yourself.
Okay.
It sounds almost too simple,
Yeah.
but it's amazing how many of us skip this step entirely.
You mean figuring out what we actually want in a partner?
Yeah.
Not just who looks good in a dimly lit bar.
Exactly. It goes deeper than just a checklist, though.
No. Okay.
We're talking about understanding your values. What truly makes you tick.
Okay.
And even those little emotional quirks we've picked up along the way.
Oh, I see.
You know, the things that make you go, oh, nope, not doing that again.
Like when someone says they're emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
And you realize they mean right now.
Right now,
Oh, I've been there.
that's a good one. But seriously, it's about recognizing the patterns from past relationships,
Okay.
good and bad,
Yeah.
and how they might be influencing your choices today.
So how do we go about this self-discovery journey?
Well,
Our sources had some interesting suggestions, right?
one that comes up a lot is journaling.
Ah, journaling?
I know it sounds a little Dear Diary.
Yeah.
But actually taking the time to write down your thoughts and feelings about past relationships can be super revealing.
Yeah. I could see that it's like you're forced to slow down and analyze things
Mm-hmm.
instead of just rushing into the next date.
Right. And our expert sources point out that this can help you identify what you truly value in a partner, not just what you think you should want. Another technique they highlighted is meditation,
Mm-hmm.
giving yourself that mental space to just be.
Okay, I'm getting a theme here.
Yeah.
Slow down. Get to know ourselves first.
Yes.
Then worry about the dating part.
Exactly, because if you don't know what you're looking for, how can you expect to find it in someone else?
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of connecting with someone else, our sources all emphasize the importance of communication.
Oh, communication is key,
Okay,
even from the very first date.
right.
And we're not just talking about keeping the conversation going. It's
Oh.
about truly listening, being present,
Mm-hmm.
and expressing yourself openly and honestly.
So put the phone away,
Yeah.
make eye contact,
Yeah.
and actually pay attention to what the other person is saying.
It sounds so simple,
Revolutionary.
but it's amazing how many of us struggle with that these days.
Yeah, it is.
But trust me, mindful communication makes a huge difference, especially in those early stages of dating.
Well, on that note, let's talk about the elephant in the room, online dating.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much unavoidable for most single people these days,
Especially after 40.
especially after 40.
Yeah.
Any tips from our sources on how to navigate that world?
Yes. Actually, choosing the right platform is a big one.
Okay.
There are so many options out there,
Yeah.
each with its own vibe and target audience.
Mm-hmm.
Match.com tends to attract those seeking more serious relationships,
Okay.
while Tinder is known for more casual connections.
Yeah, that's fair.
So do your research and find one that aligns with what you're looking for.
Good point. I've definitely heard some horror stories about people showing up for a date expecting one thing
Yeah.
and getting something completely different.
Right. And once you've chosen a platform, creating an authentic profile is crucial.
Okay.
Use recent photos,
All right.
be honest about your interests, and let your personality shine through.
Yeah.
Remember, you want to attract someone who's genuinely interested in you, not some idealized version you've created online.
So no photos from 20 years ago
Yeah.
or listing hobbies you haven't done since college.
No.
Good to know. And of course, safety is always a top priority when it comes to online dating.
Absolutely. Our sources stress the importance of meeting in public places,
Okay.
letting friends know where you're going, and trusting your gut instincts. If
Yeah.
something feels off, it probably is. Don't hesitate to end the date early or even block someone if necessary.
That's great advice. And you know what? All this talk about online dating has got me thinking
Yeah,
maybe a little break is in order.
I agree. Let's take a moment to refresh and remind everyone to visit secondactfirstdatepodcast.com.
You can find tons of resources there, articles,
Mm-hmm.
and even a forum where you can connect with other mindful daters.
Yeah, that's right.
And when we come back, We'll delve into some of the trickier parts of mindful dating,
Okay.
like recognizing those pesky red flags that can trip us up.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
All right. All right. So before the break, we were talking about how important it is to understand ourselves
Right.
and communicate effectively in the world of dating.
Yes.
Now, let's get real for a second. Not everyone out there is playing by the same rules.
You're talking about red flags, right?
Exactly.
Those subtle signs that maybe, just maybe, this person isn't who they're presenting themselves to be.
Exactly. And recognizing those red flags is a crucial part of mindful dating.
Okay.
Our research highlighted some common ones that pop up time and time again.
Okay, spill the tea.
Yeah.
What should we be watching out for?
One classic red flag is controlling behavior.
Okay.
Does your date constantly criticize you or put you down?
Oh, yeah.
Do they try to isolate you from your friends and family? Or do they get weirdly jealous when you spend time with other people?
Ooh, yeah, I've definitely encountered that one before. Not a fun experience.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And it's a big sign that this person might not be interested in a healthy, balanced relationship.
What about those folks who are constantly bringing up their ex? Is that a red flag?
It definitely can be.
Okay.
If someone is constantly talking about their ex, especially in a negative light, it could be a sign that they haven't fully moved on or that they're looking for someone to validate their past relationship.
So if the conversation feels more like a therapy session than a date, that's probably a bad sign.
Right. Another red flag to watch out for is emotional unavailability.
Okay.
This one can be trickier to spot,
Yeah.
but it's essentially when someone is unable or unwilling to open up emotionally.
So they might be charming and fun to be around,
Right.
but as soon as things start to get a little deeper, they shut down or pull away.
Exactly. They might avoid talking about their feelings,
Huh.
they might be vague about their past, or they might just be really inconsistent in their communication.
That makes sense. Our sources really emphasize that mindful dating is about tuning into those gut feelings.
Absolutely. If something feels off, it probably is.
Yeah.
Don't ignore those red flags just because you're attracted to someone or because
Yeah.
you're hoping for the best.
It's like that old saying, trust your gut, it's got your back. But how do we balance that with not being overly suspicious or judgmental?
That's a great question. Mindfulness isn't about jumping to conclusions or assuming the worst in people.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to those subtle cues and being honest with yourself about how you feel. It's also about taking your time.
So not rushing into anything too quickly.
Exactly. Don't feel pressured to commit to a relationship before you're truly ready. Mindful dating is about taking things at your own pace,
Okay.
making sure that the person you're with is truly aligned with your values, goals, and emotional needs.
And speaking of emotional needs, our sources talked a lot about the importance of vulnerability in dating. But isn't that kind of risky, especially after 40? I mean, we've all been hurt before.
I understand where you're coming from. It's natural to want to protect ourselves from getting hurt again. But true intimacy requires vulnerability.
Okay.
It's about letting someone see the real you, flaws and all.
So how do we embrace vulnerability without feeling totally exposed or setting ourselves up for heartbreak?
It starts with self-compassion.
Okay.
Remember that you are worthy of love and connection just as you are. It's also about setting boundaries. You don't have to share everything with someone right away.
So start small, share things gradually as you get to know someone better,
Right.
and trust your instincts.
Exactly. And remember that vulnerability is a two-way street. Pay attention to how your date responds when you share something personal.
Okay.
Do they listen with empathy and understanding?
Mm.
Or do they dismiss your feelings or make it all about them?
That's a good point. It's not just about being vulnerable ourselves. It's about being with someone who can handle our vulnerability with care and respect.
Absolutely. Mindful dating is about choosing partners who are capable of reciprocating that vulnerability and creating a space for deep, authentic connection.
This is really making me rethink my whole approach to dating.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next topic, let's remind our listeners where they can find more information on mindful dating.
Of course. You can visit our website at secondactfirstdatepodcast.com, where you'll find tons of resources, articles, and tips to help you navigate the world of dating with more intention and awareness.
You can also connect with other mindful daters in our forum and share your experiences, ask questions, and find support.
Now, when we come back after the break, we'll dive deeper into the concept of compatibility and how to determine whether someone is truly a good match for you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Second Act First Date.
You know?
We've been talking about mindful dating,
Yeah.
slowing down, getting to know ourselves,
Right.
and watching out for those red flags.
Absolutely.
But how do we know when we've actually found someone who's a good fit?
That's where compatibility comes in.
Okay.
It's about more than just that initial spark or having a few things in common. True compatibility runs deeper.
Okay, so what are we really looking for here?
Yeah,
Our forces broke it down into a few key areas,
they
right?
did. And it's not always the stuff romantic comedies focus on.
Okay.
We're talking shared values, compatible life goals,
Yeah.
and that often overlooked emotional compatibility.
All right, let's unpack those shared values. That sounds pretty foundational to any relationship.
It is. Values are those core beliefs that shape how we see the world and make decisions.
Okay.
Things like family, religion, work ethic,
Right.
even political leanings can fall into this category.
So if one person is a die-hard environmentalist and the other drives a gas-guzzling monster truck,
Yeah,
maybe that's a sign their values aren't quite aligned.
exactly. Or if one person prioritizes career ambition above all else,
Mm-hmm.
and the other dreams of a simple life with lots of family time, that can lead to friction down the road.
Makes sense. And what about life goals?
Yeah.
How do those play into compatibility?
Think about those big picture aspirations. Do you want to travel the world,
Okay.
settle down in a quiet suburb, start a business, retire early?
Yeah.
If your partner has completely different goals, that can create a lot of tension and resentment.
So even if the initial attraction is there, if you're not rowing the boat in the same direction,
Yeah.
you're going to end up going in circles.
That's a great analogy. And that's why it's so important to have those conversations early on,
Yeah.
even if they feel a little awkward.
Okay.
Better to know sooner rather than later if you're truly on the same path.
All right, last but not least, our sources talked about this idea of emotional compatibility.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Emotional compatibility is about how you connect on that deeper level.
Go.
Do you communicate effectively?
Mm-hmm.
Can you support each other through tough times? Do you understand each other's emotional needs?
So it's not just about enjoying the same hobbies or having similar interests. It's about how you navigate the ups and downs of life together.
Exactly. It's about being able to lean on each other,
Mm.
to celebrate the good times, and to weather those inevitable storms. It's often what determines whether a relationship can truly go the distance.
Wow, this has been such an eye-opening deep dive into mindful dating.
Oh, it has.
I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for approaching relationships.
Sure.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners out there navigating the dating world?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Mindful dating is about approaching relationships with intention,
Go.
awareness, and a whole lot of self-compassion.
Hmm.
It's about knowing yourself, setting boundaries, communicating effectively,
Yeah.
and choosing partners who are truly compatible with your values, goals, and emotional needs.
It's about taking your time, trusting your gut, and remembering that you deserve to be with someone who truly sees you, appreciates you, and supports you on this journey called life. And on that note, don't forget to visit our website at secondactfirstdatepodcast.com for more resources and connection.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to Second Act First Date, Over 40 and Awkward. We'll be back next time with another deep dive into the world of dating after 40. Until then, happy dating.